Have you ever been lost or not sure who you are? In today's video, we're diving into the ancient wisdom of Buddhism to explore how you can truly know yourself inside and out. Number 1. Getting along better with life. Accepting life is the first step to dealing with it better. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing life as it is, not how you want it to be. Buddha taught that pain comes from wanting and not wanting things. What we want makes us push away what we don't want. Letting go of these wants and dislikes is what acceptance means. Impermanence is one of the most important ideas in Buddhism. Everything in life changes all the time, including our feelings, thoughts, situations, and even how we see ourselves. Being able to accept that things change helps us deal with life better. We enjoy the good times because we know they won't last forever. We put up with bad things because we know they will pass. Picture yourself with your favorite tea in your hand. You like how warm it is, how it smells, and how it tastes. However, you know that the tea will cool down and the cup will be empty. This is going to happen anyway. In life, it's the same. Don't hold on to the good times. Enjoy them. Don't try to avoid the bad times. Just go with them. Acceptance also means not judging. Most of the time, we label our events as good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant. These judgments lead to suffering because they build expectations and attachments. Instead, try to look at your situations without judging them. They are just what they are. Take a wet day as an example. You might think it's bad because it spoils your plans to be outside. It's just rain though, so it's not good or bad. It could be taking care of fields, filling up reservoirs, or making a home feel cozy. Don't judge other people. Accept life as it is, not how you want it to be. Being happy is another way to deal with life better. Being content is not the same as being lazy. It means focused on what you do have instead of what you don't have. Finding joy and happiness in the present is what it's all about. To be happy, you need to practice gratitude. Enjoy the little things in life, like a warm bed, a filling meal, or a kind word. Being grateful changes your attention from what you don't have to what you do have, which makes it easier to handle the ups and downs of life. Being equanimous means staying calm and balanced, no matter what is going on around you. To be able to stay calm in the face of happiness and sadness, gain and loss, praise and blame. Equanimity is not being indifferent. It's a deep knowledge and acceptance of how life changes all the time. Mindfulness exercise can help you become more equanimous. Be in the present moment and watch your events without reacting or judging them. When you're happy, notice it but don't hold on to it. Pay attention to your pain, but don't fight it. Being equanimous makes life easier to handle because it keeps you steady as things change all the time. Another important Buddhist teaching is the idea of non-self. It means that there is no set self that doesn't change. Instead, we are made up of memories, events, and consciousness that are always changing and growing. Getting to know the non-self helps us handle life better. It helps us remember that our past, our job, our relationships, or our things don't make us who we are. It sets us free from the ties and expectations that hurt us. We can accept change, grow, and progress because of it. Things don't always go well in life. Anger, sadness, fear, and worry are all hard feelings that we all go through. Buddhism teaches us to be aware of these feelings and not push them away or try to hide them. When a hard feeling comes up, recognize it. Do not judge it or push it away. Instead, pay attention to it carefully. In what part of your body do you feel it? What does it make you think of? What would you like to do? Being mindful helps you understand how you feel. It makes you remember that feelings come and go. They appear, stay for a while, and then disappear. Mindfully observing your feelings will keep them from controlling your actions and making you suffer more. In Buddhism, patience is a very important trait. It means being able to handle delay, trouble, or pain without getting angry or upset. Being patient helps us get through life, especially when things go wrong. Mindfulness is a good way to improve your patience Be present with whatever you're going through and accept it without fighting it. Don't forget that things change and nothing stays the same. You can get through life's problems if you have patience and know that they will pass. Self-care is also a part of getting through life better. Self-care isn't selfish. You need to do it. It means taking care of your body, mind, and spirit so you can handle the tough things that life throws at you. Take care of your body. Get enough sleep, eat well, and work out daily. Being kind and respectful to your body is important. Take care of your mind. Practice being aware and meditating. They help you feel better, focus better, and deal with stress better. Plus, do things you love, like reading, painting, or listening to music. Take care of how you feel. Spend time with the people you care about. Write in a book, make art, or talk to someone about how you feel. Be kind and understanding to yourself as you practice self-compassion. Take care of your mind. Spend some time outside. Do some yoga, pray or meditate, or spend time in nature. Taking care of your spiritual needs feeds your soul and gives you a sense of peace, meaning, and connection. To deal with life better, you need to ask for help when you need it. Life isn't meant to be lived by ourselves. We need each other's help because we're social creatures. When you're having a hard time, don't be afraid to ask for help from friends, family, or experts. They can be there to listen, help, or give good advice. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That means you're strong, not weak. Acceptance, contentment, equanimity, awareness, patience, self-care, and asking for help are all things that can help you deal with life better. Understanding and accepting that life is always changing, feeling good, and taking care of yourself are all important parts of this. You can meet the challenges of life with courage, strength, and wisdom if you do these things. Number 2, creating the life we want. Everybody wants to live a happy, full life. Still, a lot of people are stuck in lives that don't match what they really want. Buddhism tells us to look at our goals and aims and ask ourselves what we really want and why. When we know ourselves, we can tell the difference between our real wants and wants that are just on the surface and are affected by societal expectations or outside pressures. Before we can make the life we really want, we need to figure out what our core values and interests are. Introspection and being honest with yourself are part of this process. Not being attached to anything is a very important skill for creating the life we want. It's not that you have to give up all your wants. It just means that you have to stop being attached to the results. We set ourselves up for disappointment and pain when we hold on to certain results. We can instead focus on doing our best while keeping an open mind about what might happen. This way of thinking lets us follow our dreams with fire and determination, because we know that our worth is not based on what other people do. Number 3, think about what's making you mad. Figuring out what's bothering you is an important part of getting to know yourself. In Buddhism, the practices of introspection and awareness are very helpful for finding and understanding what is making us unhappy. As part of this process, we look at our thoughts, feelings, and the underlying reasons that make us feel bad. Paying full attention to the present moment without judging it is an important part of Buddhism. Mindfulness helps us notice our feelings and thoughts as they come up so we can figure out what's bugging us. Mindfulness lets us sit with these experiences and look into what they're like instead of getting caught up in them or escaping them. For instance, mindfulness tells you to notice your anxiety without responding to it right away when you're feeling it. You may feel things in your body, like a rushing heart or shallow breathing. After that, you can focus on the things that are making you anxious. Buddhism tells us to look into our thoughts and feelings' deeper reasons once we know what they are on the surface. As part of this study, we are asking ourselves deep questions to get to the beliefs, fears, and assumptions that are causing our distress. This practice is like taking off the layers of an onion to find out more about ourselves. Let's say you find out that your worry is caused by a fear of failing. Then you can think about why you're afraid of failing. You might think that failing means you are not worth anything, or that other people will be let down if you fail. These beliefs may come from things that happened in the past, like a harsh upbringing or the push from society to do well. By looking at where these ideas came from, you can start to see how they affect the way you think and act now. When you're trying to figure out what's bugging you, it's important to treat what you find with acceptance and kindness. It's normal to find parts of ourselves that make us feel bad or are hard to accept. Self-compassion is a practice taught by Buddhism. It means being kind and understanding to ourselves, especially when we look at our flaws. When we notice troubling thoughts or feelings, self-compassion lets us do so without judging ourselves. We don't have to be hard on ourselves for being worried or scared. Instead, we can treat ourselves with the same compassion we would give a friend in the same situation. This kind of caring method makes it safe to explore our inner world, which makes us feel safe and accepted. One of the best ways to learn more about yourself is to meditate. Meditation is not only a way for Buddhists to calm their minds, but it's also a way to understand how their ideas and feelings work. Through meditation, we can become aware of the mind's regular patterns and learn to accept that our mental states are temporary. Vipassana, also called insight meditation, is a popular type of meditation. In Vipassana, people just notice their thoughts and feelings without getting attached to them. This technique helps us become more aware of what's going on in our minds, so we can see how thoughts come and go. By noticing how temporary things are, we start to understand that our feelings and thoughts don't make us who we are. They're just events that come and go. For instance, if you're focusing and sad feelings come up, Vipassana tells you to just notice them without getting caught up in them. You might feel things in your body that go along with your sadness, like a heavy feeling in your chest. Then you can pay attention to the thoughts that make you sad, which might be memories of past losses or failures. Over time, this practice will help you understand what makes you sad and how to deal with it more calmly. For instance, if we learn that our stress is caused by a need for acceptance, we can work on building a sense of self-worth that isn't based on what other people think of us. Realizing that other people's views change and can't be trusted is part of this process. Another part is building a stable sense of inner confidence. It's freeing to think about the things that are bugging us. In Buddhism, liberation means breaking out of the cycle of pain and becoming enlightened, also known as awakening. Each step we take toward knowing and changing our inner world brings us closer to this state of freedom, even if it seems far away. We break free from the lies and false beliefs that hold us back when we face and understand our problems. We learn to see ourselves and the world more clearly when our fears and wants are taken into account. Being clear about these things helps us live more honestly, handle problems wisely, and find real peace. An important step on the path to self-discovery is to think about what's bugging you. Being aware, asking questions, accepting things as they are, and meditating can help us find the causes of our problems and change bad habits. This process not only helps us learn more about ourselves, but it also makes us happier and more free. We can handle life's challenges with grace and find a deeper, more authentic self if we follow this road of self-reflection and compassion. Number 4. A good way to show who you are. Being honest is one of the most important and satisfying things in life. Being authentic means not giving in to outside pressures or social expectations and living your life in a way that is true to your nature, values, and beliefs. Before we can truly show who we are, we need to accept and love the things that make us different. Each person has their own unique set of strengths, weaknesses, talents, and views that have been shaped by their life experiences. People often have trouble accepting themselves because of societal norms or ideals they have for themselves. But accepting what makes us different is the first step toward being real. This means recognizing and loving every part of ourselves, even the parts we might think are flaws or mistakes. One example is someone who is quiet and thinks a lot, which might not be respected enough in a society that values being outgoing. Instead of trying to change, they can accept the fact that they are reflective and find useful ways to show that. Being brave enough to be honest with ourselves and others is also part of living a genuine life. Being honest like this isn't always easy because it means letting down your guard. Being ready to show our fears, insecurities, and wants is what it means to be vulnerable. Being open and honest about our thoughts and feelings lets others see us as we really are, which leads to stronger and more sincere connections. Instead of acting like everything is fine when we're really stressed or sad, telling a trusted friend about it can lead to talks that are supportive and understanding. This much honesty helps to break down walls of loneliness and makes the space more caring and understanding. Buddhism also stresses the practice of right action, which means acting in ways that are moral and in line with our ideals. Doing the right thing isn't just about staying away from harm. It also means acting in ways that are consistent with our values and beliefs. If environmental sustainability is a value that is important to you, you might show it in your daily life by recycling, cutting down on waste, buying eco-friendly goods, or fighting for environmental laws. Even if they are small, these actions show that you care about your beliefs and help you feel more honest and proud of your own self-worth. Giving up the need for acceptance and the fear of being judged is an important part of showing who we are. Because they are afraid of being judged or rejected, many people follow the rules or hide who they really are. But to be authentic, you have to be brave enough to stick to your views and choices, even if other people don't agree with them or understand them. This could mean going for a job path that isn't usually looked up to, saying something that most people don't agree with, or just dressing in a way that shows who you are instead of what's trendy. Letting go of other people's views frees up your own expression and lowers the stress and anxiety that come with trying to live up to other people's expectations. Communication that doesn't involve words is also very important for showing who we are. Our tone of voice, face expressions, and body language all show what's going on inside us. Being aware of these nonverbal cues can help us make sure that what we say matches how we feel inside. For example, keeping your body open and relaxed during a conversation shows that you are open and willing to listen. A warm, sincere smile can also show that you are friendly and willing to talk. Being honest and building trust with others is easier when our body language matches how we really feel. Being mindful means being in the present moment and being aware of all of our behaviors, feelings, and thoughts. Being aware of this lets us know when our actions aren't in line with who we really are and lets us choose to change our paths. Mindfulness can help us stop and think about whether the things we are doing are in line with our values, like if we notice that we are people-pleasing because we want to be liked. Being aware lets us choose to be true to ourselves, even when things get tough. Authentic communication also includes using your imagination and creativity. Many people find that their deepest feelings and thoughts can be expressed through art forms like drawing, writing, music, or dance, which words alone cannot do. These artistic expressions can be strong ways to share your inner world with others and give them a look into your experiences, beliefs, and values. For example, a writer might use fiction to explore complicated feelings and situations, which shows how they see the world. In the same way, a musician might use lyrics and melodies to talk about their problems and successes. Not only do these artistic expressions make the person who made them happy, but they may also connect with others who have had similar feelings or experiences. To show who we really are, we have to be willing to keep learning about and improving ourselves. As we grow and change, our ideas about who we are and how we show our personality may also change. It's normal and good for people to feel this way. Thinking about our values, beliefs, and wants on a regular basis helps us stay true to ourselves as our lives change. Self-inquiry and thought are important parts of Buddhism because they help us become more self-aware and true to ourselves. Number 5. Find a better version of you. To learn more about yourself and get better, you have to keep working at it and have a plan. The Buddhist idea of death helps us remember that life is always changing. This knowledge isn't just about the outside world. It's also about our own selves. Realizing that we are always changing can give us the motivation to actively work on our own growth and change. Before we can find a better version of ourselves, we need to develop an attitude that is open to growth and change. To do this, you have to let go of fixed ideas about yourself and be open to new things and points of view. It's easy to get stuck in a set idea of who we are and think that our traits and skills will never change. Buddhism, on the other hand, tells us to see ourselves as living things that can always grow. Because we have a growth attitude, we can see problems and setbacks as chances to learn and get better. Setting specific goals is a useful way to find a better version of yourself. These goals should be in line with our inner hopes and values. Right purpose is one of the most important ideas in Buddhism. Having the right purpose means focusing on thoughts and desires that bring about good things and lessen suffering. For instance, if we value humanity, our goals might include helping others, volunteering, or becoming more kind in the way we treat others. By making these kinds of plans, we make sure that our actions are in line with our core values. This gives our lives meaning and direction. Self-discipline is another important part of improving yourself. Self-discipline means being able to control our feelings, thoughts, and behaviors so that they help us reach our long-term goals. We have to choose to do it, even when there are short-term difficulties or temptations. For example, if we want to become more aware, we might make a promise to meditate every day. Because we made this promise, we have to put our practice first, even when we are busy or sidetracked. Self-discipline helps us form habits that are good for our health and happiness. Self-discipline and the practice of right effort go hand in hand. Putting in the right amount of effort means working hard to develop good traits and giving up bad ones. To do it right, you need to find a middle ground between self-indulgence and self-mortification. We instead try to keep working steadily and carefully toward our goals. To help ourselves become more patient, for instance, we can practice staying calm in tough scenarios instead of reacting without thinking. Consistently working at something changes us over time and helps us become more like the people we want to be. Mindful thought is another skill that can help you improve yourself. Mindful reflection helps us be honest and kind about how we feel about our thoughts, actions, and feelings. By thinking about our past often, we can find trends that stop us from growing and be proud of our progress. Being accountable to our goals and staying clear on our way is helped by this habit. For example, at the end of each day, we might think about what we did and whether it was in line with our beliefs and goals. This reflection gives us useful information that will help us make decisions and take steps in the future. Buddhism says that the way to improve yourself is not to become perfect, but to keep getting better. With this knowledge, we are more likely to be patient and kind as we grow. It's important to understand that mistakes and failures are normal parts of the process. Instead of letting them bring us down, we can see them as chances to learn and grow. When we mess up, we can be kind to ourselves and accept our flaws without being harshly critical. This caring attitude helps us keep a happy and strong mind, which helps us keep going on our journey of self-discovery. To become a better person, you have to discover and grow your own unique skills and interests. Each person has unique skills and hobbies that can make them happy and help other people be happy. Buddhism tells us to see these skills as gifts from God and to develop them so they can show who we really are. For example, if we're good at art, we might look into artistic expression as a way to get in touch with our inner selves and let other people know what we think. By following our dreams, we become more in touch with our true selves and build a life that is full and important. Self-improvement is more than just working on our skills. It also means dealing with and changing our weaknesses. Buddhism says that everything has the ability to awaken, and with practice and mindful awareness, our weaknesses can become our strengths. For instance, if we have trouble controlling our anger, we can work on becoming more patient and kind. We can turn our weaknesses into chances to grow and gain self-mastery if we are honest about them and work on them. Accepting how different we are, looking for ideas, and growing our wisdom help us live a full and important life that shows who we really are. For this journey, the teachings of Buddhism are helpful and inspiring. They tell us that we all have the power to grow and awaken. Number 6. Have faith in yourself. Buddhists believe that trusting in oneself is a key part of both physical and spiritual growth. It means having faith in our own abilities and the road we are following. We don't trust because we're naive or proud. We trust because we have a strong belief that we have the knowledge and skills to handle life's obstacles and reach our goals. Being self-aware is the first step to trusting yourself. We need to have a good idea of our strengths, weaknesses, beliefs, and wants. Being aware of ourselves helps us make choices that are in line with who we really are. For example, when we have to make a tough choice, we don't have to doubt our ability to do the right thing. We can depend on our inner wisdom and intuition. While it's true that we will make mistakes, trusting ourselves means believing that we can learn and grow from everything. There is a lot of uncertainty in life, and the future is often hard to guess. Buddhism says that holding on to confidence can make you suffer. We are told to welcome the unknown with an open heart instead. We have to believe that we can handle whatever comes our way. Building trust helps us feel less anxious and afraid, which lets us live in the present moment more fully. When you trust yourself, you accept your unique path. It's easy to lose sight of who we are in a world full of comparisons and demands from other people. Faith in our own unique journey and trust that it is valid and useful are important parts of Buddhism. This means recognizing that everyone's road is different and that this is a beautiful and natural part of life. When we accept who we are as individuals, we can follow our dreams and interests without letting outside opinions or pressures stop us. When you trust yourself, you also know and respect your limits. Not that we think we can do everything exactly, but that we know what we can do and work within those limits. By being honest with ourselves, we can set goals that we can reach and avoid stress that isn't necessary. It also means asking for help and support when we need it and believing that doing so won't make us less valuable or less able. In Buddhism, trusting in oneself is an important part of getting to know oneself and growing as a person. It means seeing our true potential, being okay with uncertainty, respecting our own unique path, building resiliency, and spreading loving kindness. By building trust, we can go through life with self-assurance, honesty, and a deep sense of inner peace. When you trust yourself, you give yourself power and set yourself up for a life full of compassion, meaning, and fulfillment. Remember that getting to know yourself, inside and out, takes a lifetime. It's a way to learn, accept, grow, and love yourself. You have a lot of potential. Dealing with life better, making the life you really want, facing your problems, being yourself, becoming better, and believing in yourself are all things you can do. Have a good day. Have a good time. May you be happy.